Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Can and can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Can in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. It's what day of the week is it? Oh yeah, Monday. Get in the morning. Oh, there goes Maui. He's like, oh, my camera time is done. Good morning, Joe. How you doing today?
Rise and shine. It's program time. We had this when I was in San Quentin. There was this correctional officer. His name was Snyder, and he would every morning he would be like on that intercom or that PA, the PA system or whatever. He'd be like, "Rise and shine. It's program time." Oh, dude, he had another one when it was time for final lockup. This dude was absolutely hilarious. Like, he made you forget for a little while that you were in prison. You know what I mean? He would say, something like, he's like, "Those of you out there ducking and dodging, stand in front of your cell." So he's all, get that last bat. You can kiss your girlfriend goodbye and stand in front of your cell. And then the last part, he's like, "This ain't no party. This ain't no disco. This ain't no," what do you say? He's all, "This ain't no party. This ain't no disco. This ain't no Sweet Jimmy's, and it ain't no fooling around. It's that final lockup thing." Oh my God, dude. We used to, like, usually when you're in prison, you hate the cops, right? You're the COs, like, you hate them. But some of them had personalities where you're like, all right, we can tolerate this dude. Snyder was one of those guys.
Man, yeah, Yinzer, the jackwagon is here. Good morning. He said, I was in prison before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I ever have. The closest I got was basic training.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how similar military and prison are, dude. It's just you get a check and you get guns, but the exercise is the same.
They're both very regimented. Yeah,
and they're both very regimented, and you both in both of them you have to follow orders, or else bad things happen.
Yeah, but the lifestyle is completely different, though. Too. I mean,
oh yeah.
We're not making barracks hooch. Let me put it that way.
No, I just, like I said, it's not exactly the same. I said you'd be surprised how many similarities there are.
Yeah, there's similarities. Yeah, I can see there are some similarities there. Yeah, I mean, luckily I've never had to deal with that. I've been good so far. I haven't done anything to land me there. I mean,
have you ever been shot at? Well, the reason I ask is, it's not a stupid question. The reason I ask is, so if you've ever been shot at and that fear that you feel like for your life, that's what it's like in prison all the time. Like, you're in a constant state of hyper awareness because, things can go south really fast, and you always have to be like aware of what's happening around you, because things, if you're not, then things could go south like right in front of you. You can end up getting caught up in a riot that has nothing to do with you. Like, it could be two other races and you could just be sitting there like on playing pinochle at the bench, and all of a sudden you're getting stabbed in your neck because you're in the middle of this whirlwind and you don't know, you weren't paying attention. So you have to pay attention to when people start grouping up over here and over here, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I woke up thinking about that, but
yeah, it's one. Look, at sometimes those memories just come back, and it's what happens when you get older, Joe. You know, you wake up one day like, oh, you remember that time 10 years ago, you know, when I was in prison doing this, or hey, you know, you remember 10 years ago and I was in the army doing, I mean, they just come back randomly. You get some random weird thing. The other day I was like going to a random thought from like 20 some years ago. It's like I remember sitting in Camp Attlebury, Indiana, and we're about to roll a mission. I was in the National Guard at the time, looking down at my BDUs, going, "I'm gonna be wearing these every single day for years to come now as a profession." And yeah, like certain memories like that just kind of like pop out every so often. It's like no rhyme or reason; they just pop out, you know. And I haven't been arrested, thank goodness. My about to be ex son-in-law though has been spending a lot of time in the county, um, doing stupid things. I mean, but that's funny though because like you can look, there are NFL players who are getting caught up in stupid things right now too. And it's like you can be thinking everything's cool, and all of a sudden you get caught up in some stupid thing. Sometimes of your own accord, sometimes not. Next thing you know, you've got a celly. You know, so I mean, life can be funny that way. And right now, I'd like to take the Illinois state government, put them in a cell. I mean,
Yeah,
still
yeah,
no
yeah.
stadium deal. Now they want to fight that ICE agents are at O'Hare, you know, supplementing the TSA agents. Like, can we just get a stadium deal? You guys just leave the president and the federal government alone to do their thing, and you guys do what you're supposed to do, and get us either a stadium deal or tell the Bears to pound sand.
They're
Do
gonna
one of
fuck
the
around and lose that team, dude. Like eventually, Indiana, Indiana's only gonna play second fiddle for so long, dude. Eventually, they're gonna be like, "So, hey, Bears, have you made a decision yet?" Because, you know,
oh,
it's like
even the mayor of Arlington Heights is like, I want this done by the end of the month. Like, I'm tired of waiting. Like, if you know the mayor who wants the stadium built in his town in Illinois is like, this needs to be done like by the end of next week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even they're like, well, let's just get this over with. Um, you know, I mean, it's crazy that this deal isn't done. They've been back in session now over a week, and there's been no movement on this Bears stadium at all. And Indiana's deal has been on the table for 3 weeks now. And
yeah.
it's just like, come on, guys. Like, you
Has
know,
the thought occurred to you that maybe this is all a dog and pony show, and like they passed it in they had that late night session and passed whatever they had to pass to get it into the house just so that they can like make it seem like they did their very best, and then they're dragging their feet so that when the Bears finally go, look, dude, like, you know, we have to start the stadium at some point, and they choose Indiana, that the you know the city can say, or the government can say, well, you know, we tried. Like Chicago was being, or the Bears were being unreasonable. They weren't. They were being impatient. It's like, no, they waited like 5 years, but you know they're gonna have their narrative. That's all I'm saying. Is like, it's the same thing with the city of Oakland, with what they did with the Raiders, with what they did with the A's. Like they play this stalling game. Like, no, we just. But when you actually get them to the table, like, hey, like we need to start actually hammering out the logistics here, you know, then all of a sudden it's, well, we need more time. We need, you know, there's other pieces that need to be put into this puzzle to make it fit, you know.
Arlington Heights mayor says Springfield needs to get Bears Stadium done in 2 weeks. That was a CBS News article from 2 days ago.
Hmm.
I mean, so he's like, look, on the 21st.
No, I don't doubt that the mayor of Arlington Heights
Yeah.
wants it. I'm
So he
talking about
wants it done
the
no
people who
later.
actually vote.
He's like, it needs to be done by the 4th, right? And he's even gone into April, but he's like, this needs to be done. I mean, even local politicians are like, dude, get this done. Like, what is your problem? I mean, the Bears have set the bar so freaking low, so low, and Broski's spot on. George is doing everything he can to keep the Bears in Illinois. Illinois is
Mhm.
doing everything it can to push them out. And
Yeah. And when George finally ends up leaving, they're gonna do everything they can to villainize him on the way out.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Like,
mean, and that fits the politics of the state. I mean, this is one of those weird times where I hate when sports and politics intersect. Right? I like to keep them separate because sports are supposed to be our, our reprise from life. Right? We don't have to deal with the politics of life and personal issues. Like sports is something we should be able to turn to and just enjoy a game. Right?
oh,
Unfortunately, you get these kinds of situations where there's a big intersection of the two.
so
And
have you seen recently? You remember that bachelorette star who got arrested for domestic violence for beating up her husband, and she threw that chair and it smacked her kid, and her kids start crying. It's all on video,
yeah,
right? Well, now you have all these like soft bleeding hearts coming out saying, "Oh, but nobody's seen it from her side," and it's like, that's what this kind of reminds me of. It's like the,
yeah,
the politicians in Illinois are the crazy wife who's like beating up the husband, and the Bears are the husband, and they're sitting there like videotaping the whole thing, and they're like, "Look, dude, you guys see what I deal with on a daily basis." And then the Bears
yeah.
fans, they're the kid that gets smacked with the chair for no reason.
Well, it's like and you being a Californian, you can probably, Nick Shirley's there documenting all the fraud in LA with all these, like, he's looking at the hospices in LA. And did you realize that Los Angeles, Orange County, has 1/3 of the hospices companies in the entire country? Like, I did not realize that many people go to LA to die. I guess a third of the country does. And what's happening? He's being villainized by the politicians. They're calling him a pedo, right? I think I can say that and not get his ban. And all this just because he's exposing fraud and said, "Hey, thank you for exposing this fraud. We'll get on it and make sure it goes away." No, they're attacking the guy who's exposing the fraud. Well, like,
Naturally.
McCaskey is like, "All right, here's a super low bar you can make. We're going to villainize you for setting the bar so low." There's going to be no new ownership, Rob. I mean, that Chicago, we don't want a different owner. I mean, okay,
I think he's talking about a different franchise.
no, the Chicago doesn't want it. He's just being a Packer fan right
Well,
now.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I think that's what he's saying is like Chicago Bears will go to Indiana, and then Chicago will bring in another franchise so
Well,
they can deal with a
but they
different
won't.
ownership group.
But that's just it. They won't because the NFL won't let them because the Bears will stop it. Yeah, Fred, who would have thought there's fraud in
In
LA?
other news, water is wet. More at
Yeah,
5.
yeah, I mean, look, the Bears, there was talk last year when Cincinnati, remember this last year, Joe? Cincinnati needed to, you know, dangled out the, hey, maybe we can move to Chicago and be an AFC team in Chicago when they were trying to get their stadium extension. And as soon as they did that, boom, they were extended. The problem is with the way NFL rules are, if another team wanted to move to Chicago, A, it would have to be an AFC team. And then B, the Bears would have to approve, and the Bears aren't going to approve. And neither are the Packers or the Lions or the Vikings or the Colts because of market share. So I mean, they wouldn't approve. So I mean, this is not Bears fans
Mm.
aren't saying, "Oh my God, get rid of McCaskey because they can't get a stadium deal done." I mean, well, there are some, and those are the stupid people who are living under a rock and just regurgitate whatever their favorite politician tells them to say. But I mean, honestly, they've set the bar so low. Pay for infrastructure, make the tax rate not to exceed 9 million a year, which is what SoFi pays, which is the most expensive rate in the NFL, and give us that deal for was it 20, 30 years, whatever that deal needs to be. Basically, give us a SoFi deal. It's already been done. It's already been proven. LA did it. They're making good money with it. Give us the same deal, and we'll stay. And for some reason, Illinois government is like, well, we need to fight the federal government for having ICE agents replace TSA agents in the airport today. Really? We need to fight the federal government on immigration law, which is not their purview, by the way. It's the federal government's purview per the Constitution. But hey, let's not split hair. Let's not get into the eaches here. we need to spend our money this way instead of getting the easiest stadium, what should be an easy stadium deal done in terms of like, I'm not saying a stadium deal is like easy, they're complex, right? But the world is not flat, it's a triangle. I
No,
mean,
but it's a sweetheart deal for Chicago
it
or for
is.
Arlington Heights because when you look at around the league, what the new precedent is the city ends up paying most of the money for the stadium
Yes.
through subsidies and everything. The Bears are offering to pay for the whole stadium themselves. I mean that it's a sweetheart deal any way you look at it. You're saving 2 billion taxpayer dollars
Plus
on a
the job
stadium.
creation, the revenue creation,
Hmm.
the year-round tourism piece of it, with now being able, because dude, I'm sorry, no one's going to Arlington Heights or Chicago in early March or March for WrestleMania, right? I mean, because right now they're not. They're. But you get that dome now. WrestleMania comes in March every so often. That's tourism. No one's going to the Chicago area in January and February for anything. But now you get the dome. Now you have events that you can pull in Arlington Heights during that low tourist season. I mean, it's like, come on. It's almost like the state of, what the state of Illinois reminds me of, because I saw a nice little video on this yesterday. So, the Starbucks union, the Starbucks worker union, they had a big strike on Red Cup Day, and now all their stores are getting closed because they're non profitable, and they wonder why. That's the state of Illinois. Well, we're going to go on strike, and we're not going to let you make money. And then when you leave us, we're gonna and say that we can't transfer with you. We're gonna wonder why.
Yeah, I mean,
They play at the United Center, Fred, along with the Bulls, and their property tax for the UC is like 3 million a year, and then Wrigley, I think, pays 3 mil. That's like the average for the other stadiums in Chicago is like 3 mil. So even at 9 mil, they're 3 times as much as everyone else. But I mean, so it's a sweetheart deal. I mean, the Bears aren't even saying give us a 3 mil, like they're saying we'll go as high as what SoFi pays.
yeah.
In a city that, by the way, is shrinking, in a state that's shrinking and hemorrhaging money, and the Bears would say, "Here, we'll give you a lifeline to make more money," and the state's like, "No, we need to go fight the federal government on more bullshit that's not even our lane to fight in."
Yeah.
I mean, that's like me going to Rob's house and fighting his wife over the amount of, I don't know, for how tall Rob's grass is. Not my place. Not my argument. Not my monkey. Not my circus. I shouldn't be arguing it, but yet there I'd be arguing it. And Rob used to him like, dude, like, worry about your own yard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of like the state of Illinois is being the ultimate
It's
HOA Karen
it's
right
funny that you said Rob would say, "Worry about your own yard" when you're beating up his wife, instead of like, "Hey, why don't you beat up your own wife?"
now.
Not mine. Hey, Rob. I'm actually speaking of Rob. I'm actually curious. Rob hasn't been on for a while. Hey, Rob, what do you think of the free agency moves that the Raiders made, especially like getting Quay from you guys?
Yeah, Rob, if you want to hop on, man. Maybe it is maybe the owner of that building in competition, or oh no, they're not. Because Fred, I took me a second to kind of digest what you're saying there. No, because WrestleMania doesn't do so. Like the UC is too small for WrestleMania. They do football stadiums, right? The like Big Ten championship is a football game. For the football game, that's obviously not competing with the UC or the Cell or Wrigley. Concerts, not even. Like you don't even get the UC is not too small for a big concert venue. It's so no. It's the other owners of the other stadiums in the city. No, they're not. Rip Brent DeWitt. When did this happen?
Who's Brent DeWitt? Who is Brent DeWitt?
I'm looking it up right now. The name's familiar, but the YouTuber? He was a performer.
Hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Which, yeah, I don't recognize him.
No, the name sounds familiar. Like maybe it's someone in the Huddle Sports Group or the NFC North group.
No.
I've
Oh,
seen that name. I think he's a Lions fan, or he was a Lions fan. Who put that comment up? Was it Fred?
that's Fred.
Hey Fred, who is Brent? Is he was somebody on the Huddle Sports Network or like on the the NFC North chats, wasn't he? He was a Lions fan, I think.
He's from Michigan.
Yeah, I think he was a Lions fan.
Yeah. R.I.P. Friend, R.I.P. Here, let me get back up to. Yeah, he commented. Retired Army. Okay. He commented on the channel over the years. He was a Lions fan. I thought it was familiar.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, we've lost a few guys in the last couple years, man.
I thought the name was familiar. Now, okay, now it took me a minute to register it. What's amazing is I Googled him and he's all over Google. I mean, I was able to Google him.
Okay.
That's sad.
All right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, it's Broski.
Oh, okay. Now it's all now. It's funny you get that one target point, then it floods in, right? Like then you're like, oh, the light goes off. Now you're wow. Yeah, it's sad passing to Brent there. It's been a minute since we saw him, maybe a week or two. Only 62 years young. Jeez. Yeah, Broski. Broski's got like the radar on. He's like anytime anyone. You know. Yeah, well, Broski, why don't you get to the Illinois State House and get them whipped into shape, will you, bud?
Secret agent man. Secret agent
Agent
man.
man. This guy had to be there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
dude.
this is that part of the season. Now you got the draft coming up, and really
Oh, I
the
can't wait.
free agency is kind of tampered down a little bit. Now we're starting to
Yeah.
see, now we're getting the thing last week was here are the details of all the contracts that were just signed. Okay, and that's great and all. I mean, we get to see it, but for me, like the draft's coming up, which is great, and we got about a month, but it's like I just need a stadium deal get done before I even care about the draft. And right now for the Bears draft, I mean, I just figure we're getting a safety, defensive line, um, offensive line, maybe a wide receiver, maybe a running back. I mean, I've almost given up on trying to predict the who. I'm almost giving up. It's just position groups I'm
You
looking
think
at.
you need another running back?
Um, yeah, I think they might draft one because Roshan Johnson to me seems to be on his way out the door in Chicago, not the way in. So I think if they could, spend a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounder again, maybe a fifth, sixth, seventh rounder on a running back to replace Roshan, I think they would. This will be the last year of his rookie deal. In the first 3 years, he hasn't really become like his rookie year. There was some promise, and then he had a concussion. And last year, they hardly used him at all. I don't think he had but maybe 2 or 3 carries the entire year. He was basically a special teams guy, and unlike Travis Homer, who you'd see lay some wood on some people, you didn't see him do much. I think Roshan might be done. Um, so I
With the
think that
Bears, he'll
yeah,
probably end up getting picked up somewhere else as like a third back or something.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, his tape is very few and very little tape on him over the last 2 seasons. He might not even get picked up at this point. We all had high hopes for him because he was Bijan's backup and had some great yards as Bijan's backup. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's I could see them taking a flyer on a guy. I could see Swift, Monangai, and Britton Brown on their contract. Um, I don't know if Swift this will be his last season. I think Roshan. I think it is, but for Swift, I think it depends on a couple things. Like how much money he wants to stay in Chicago because Swift Monangai is a nice pairing. It works. And if it works, you kind of want to keep it working if it works, right? If his contract is not stupid, if it's a respectable contract that, for the Bears and for Swift, I think Swift's already said he wants to stay. I think it comes down to the money. And if it's reasonable and he's still producing, I don't oh wow, he passed like 3 weeks ago. Well, that's why it's been a while since we saw. Wow.
Oh man.
Thank you for finding that, Fred.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm looking forward to the draft. Like, we're past the combine, we're past free agency, so now this is officially draft season, dude. Like, and I'm like, I'm excited, dude. Like, I just want to get Mendoza in the building and get him working with our guys. If
Well, and you're
that's the
starting to
route
see
we're
the
gonna go.
visits, right? You're starting to see some of the visits, like the Jets are visiting with one of the quarterbacks in the draft, right? You're starting to see those start to populate. Last year contract for Swift, Roshan, Britton Brown. Bears might run with who they have this season, but going into next season, I mean, I wouldn't say definitely, Broski, as far as Swift. The other two, yeah, maybe. But Swift, like I said, I think it depends on the money for Swift. Like if Swift produces this year and you can get him on a deal that's not backbreaking for the Bears financially, like where it makes financial sense, and he's producing, I don't see why you wouldn't keep him.
I think definitely this year you're gonna see a shift to where Monangai is gonna become the lead back, though.
Yeah, but well, he could, but remember, they're two different types of runners. And they're
Mm-hmm.
two different type of backs. Like Monangai hasn't shown the backfield catching ability too much yet. So, there we go. He's back on the new account after his other one got hacked. He joined the hacked club.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hasn't shown the backfield catching ability, but what he has shown is the between the tackles battering ram ability. Like to me, he's the perfect.
But that's why Swift doesn't have that. So he's a good complement to Swift.
No, yeah, I agree. They're a good 1-2 combination. I just think that last year Swift was like the starting quote unquote back, and then they would bring Monangai in to spell him. I think you could see those roles switch this year, where Monangai is going to carry the heavier load because he wears down the defense, and then you use Swift more like you would use oh God, what's his name in Detroit?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
You and I could see that too. And I was gonna say, the only difference I'd make to what you're saying is it'll be situational. Like if you've got a defense, you can get the edge on, then Swift will, be the guy who gets off and running from jump. If it's a defense, you got to break down a little bit and batter them first, then it'll be Monangai. But that's a great option to have as a head coach / offense coordinator.
Yeah.
Which poison am I starting with? So I mean, as I said, if Swift is his contract isn't stupid and it's agreeable for both, right? Like a team friendly, player happy deal, right? Then I think they would retain Swift. Now, if they're a better, cheaper option than Swift, right? Foles has already shown propensity, he'll go do that. But there has to be a better, not just cheaper, better option than Swift. Where, as in, that player has to be just give me exactly what Swift is getting, or have more upside. Like, give me what Swift is giving me with more upside. That's how Foles has shown he makes his move. So, like I said, I think it depends on Swift's contract ask. If he's asking for $5-6 mil a year, I think they re-sign him, no brainer. If he wants 10-12 mil a year, then I agree with Broski. He's walking.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, this is one of those situations where if you're a player like Swift, you're like, look, this would be my third contract, which a lot of running backs don't get to, right? Um, do I take the $4 million a year, $5 million a year to stay in the league for 2 or 3 more years, or do I get out of the league? Because that's basically what it becomes, right? Because he probably won't get that money elsewhere. That's that weird dichotomy, right? Like these guys, we see players every year, be it a wide receiver, running back. Well, I want X dollars, and no one's willing to pay X dollars, and they're not willing to take less, and they end up out of the league making no dollars.
Or they end up on another team for the same amount that they would have got from the Bears or
Right.
another their original
they
team.
$4 million elsewhere instead of the team that originally offered it to them. So, I mean, I could see, I don't want to. I'm not totally trying to disagree with Broski on that. I think there's a pathway for Swift to remain a Bear, which I know Broski doesn't like, but I'm not mad with it because I think he's producing.
Yeah.
He's producing. He's a solid piece of this team. Is he perfect? No, but go find me a perfect running back. There isn't.
Yep.
So
I also think the Raiders are going to be looking for a running back because they just lost Zamir White. And well, I wouldn't say they lost. They let Zamir White go in free agency. And then they had Mostert on the roster, but Mostert is old already. And like, I don't think he really has it in him. He doesn't like, he's still got some juice, but the problem is like, I don't think he has enough juice to be the consistent number 2 guy over a whole season. You know what I mean? Like,
Kamara?
What's that?
What about
Kamara? See, I would rather draft one to go behind Genty because then you have a young running back room again, and you got guaranteed 5 years of legs on these guys.
Well, if you take them in the first round, if you take them in the second or beyond, it's 4. But yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, you got 4 years of a young running back room. That's my point. Like, I would rather draft a guy in the 5th round or 4th round. 5th round, let's say, because you can still get really good running backs in the 5th round.
Well, yeah, like the Monangai guy, 7th rounder.
7th rounder, exactly. We could use a guy like Monangai. Like, to me, Monangai is like a better Isaiah Pacheco, Like, the way he runs, it reminds me of Pacheco, only he's bigger, so he's more bowling ballish, Like, Pacheco's a skinny guy to run as hard as he runs, and I think that's why he's getting banged up.
I think one thing Broski and I would agree on probably is the Bears aren't going to be looking for a running back high. Like, I don't think the Bears look for a running back until 5, 6, 7. I think the Raiders might look at running back at 2, 3, or 4. Right? Round 5.
I don't think so. Not with Genty.
Well, I mean, though, if you could get a guy like maybe not 2, maybe I would say 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there, because they want a guy
4 to 7.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere in that range.
I'm not trying to be like disagreeable just to be disagreeable. I just think the Raiders have bigger needs with round 2 or 3 picks.
But the thing, like, if you get a guy like Monangai, he does a lot for your offensive line, right? He makes your offensive line be able to become more aggressive instead of passive, right? Because when you're pass blocking, you're more passive, right? Aggressive, when you're running, you're more aggressive. You get a guy who can bash the middle. He makes them more aggressive, which wears the defensive line down more than the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if they could get a guy, if there's a real good bruiser in the 3rd, I think they would go for it if they don't think he's going to be there in 4 or 5. Because people are seeing other GMs see what the Bears have done or doing with their running back room, or what Detroit did, or what a couple other teams do with that combo. And if they're looking for the same thing, that's your competition, right? So I don't know if they go as low as a 3rd. They might, maybe if it's a late 3rd. But I see where you're at. You definitely need that Monangai, run it down the middle, beat the defensive lineup guy to complement, because that will definitely make Genty better, and it makes your offensive line better. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get offensive line help, there are two other positions that you can draft that could definitely increase the value of your offensive line as is. A good running back at running through the pipe, hitting the bruiser, or a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you might get another tight end to go with Brock. I doubt it.
No, we still have Michael Mayer.
You still have Michael Mayer, but I mean, maybe a straight up blocking tight end.
Michael Mayer, yeah, Michael Mayer's a decent blocker. Brock Bowers is not a great blocker. He's a willing blocker, but he's not a great blocker yet.
It's like Komet. Like Komet's gotten better as a blocker, but he was never really known as a blocker. That's why the Bears last year had a guy who was there just to be a blocker who had like maybe 4 receptions on the year. So I could see that you guys maybe drafting a guy like that, a guy who's a pure blocking tight end, and then getting a running back that's just a basher. And you're right; those could be round 4 and beyond. But I could see if it was, if I could see it being a 3rd round guy too, though. More on the running back than the blocking tight end piece. But I mean, the days of the single back are pretty much. Unless you're like, a Marshall Faulk type where you're good at all of it. Like Marshall Faulk could go through the middle, he could go to the edge, he could catch, he could block, but guys like him are rare. If you're a guy like him, Derrick Henry to a certain degree, you're still okay as a single back. But otherwise, you have to be
running back by committee.
And really, that's not a bad thing. I mean, the flexibility it offers you as a play caller is huge.
Yeah.
But so Swift, I don't know if this is his last season. Same with Komet, his contract at $10 million. I don't know if this is Komet's last season. I think with both those guys, it's somewhat. I think Komet will give a hometown discount regardless. Like Komet, look, he's playing in his hometown. He's making good money. I think he doesn't even demand a pay raise to stay in Chicago. Like he's like,
here's a good question though. Do you think that Loveland supplants him on the depth chart this year? Do you think that they go like Loveland is going to be your number 1 tight end going forward? Because with what he showed his rookie year, like I would definitely he would be.
I think, and that's fine though, because like I remember though, who made the big touchdown grab in the Rams game? Who caught the touchdown in the Rams game in the playoffs? Cole Kmet. That's the beauty about having Cole Kmet. He's become a much better blocker. So I think he's made himself not indispensable, but more valuable to the Bears than what he was.
Yeah.
Because he's improved his other areas. So I think with Cole Kmet, the beautiful thing about Cole Kmet is he's a hometown kid, probably willing to take a hometown discount. Loveland is going to be the number 1, but Kmet still has those threat capabilities.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they should get rid of Kmet because I think nothing wrong, especially when you have a young quarterback. There's nothing wrong with having 2 good tight ends. Like tight ends are a quarterback's best friend, and having 2 good ones who can catch, is a very good thing for a team.
For Kmet and Swift past this season, it comes down to contract, the money, and I think Kmet is going to be more willing. I think they're both willing to take a hometown discount for Chicago in just the words that they've been speaking. So I think for both of them, if the contract's right for Bowles, he retains them. It's one of those things like we'd like to keep you, but look I got to spend money on X, Y, Z. So if you can fit in my budget, if you're willing to fit my budget, I definitely want you to stay here. But here's what my budget is, and if you can't stay within that budget, then I have to wish you well other in another place. And that's what I like about Ryan Poles. He's kind of like that. So I could see that being the situation for both those guys end of this season. I like this, and look, I like if I had to place, I'd rather see Cole Kmet stay really more than Swift in a way because I think Kmet's got more longevity. But if Swift is producing, I have no problem with him staying. As long as it's a contract that can fit the team needs. That's the point I'm at with these guys. Like, look, the budget is what the budget is, and if you can't stay in the budget, then we got to wish you well. And no matter how much I like you and send you elsewhere. And that's where I am on Swift and Kmet for past this year. The Raiders, you have a little more flexibility.
Yeah, can we talk about the Raiders for a minute? Like, what do you think about? I mean, Raider Nation is pretty much like unanimous that they're going to take Mendoza at 1, right? But there's people outside of Raider Nation that are not so sure, right? Like there's always got to be those doubt seed planters, that are like, well, I don't see it in Mendoza and this and that, and that's fine, like because being realistic, like Mendoza is not the type of prospect like Andrew Luck, where it's like it doesn't matter what system you put him in, he's going to be good. Like to me, Andrew Luck is like an outlier in that. Like when Andrew Luck came out, everybody just knew he was going to be good. Like no matter where he went, he was that guy, kind of guy who could transcend systems because he was smart and he was athletic. Like Mendoza, he to me, I think if he goes to the wrong system, he could end up being a bust. Like he needs, you know, like he's not going to Baltimore with how much they like design quarterback runs and going to be successful, right? But I think he has the tools to be successful, and I think Kubiak is a good coach for him. So I would be. Not only would I be surprised, I think Raider Nation would probably want to burn the stadium down if they don't pick Mendoza at number one. Like, I think the Raiders are kind of, I mean, if they care what the fans think, I think they're kind of locked into picking Mendoza. But what do you think? Like, do you think that Mendoza is worth a number one overall pick? Do you think the Raiders should take him? Or should they wait till next year's super deep quarterback class and take a chance on getting one of those guys?
I think it's not like I think Mendoza. He's kind of a quandary to me. Like I don't think you're wrong for taking. And look, if you look at the recent number ones, they've all panned out to a certain degree over the last couple years, right?
Mhm.
I like that where he's coming from college wise, because yeah, it's not it's not ACC or any of that, but he came up big in big games. He's got a certain composure about him. He's got a certain way about him from what I've seen. I like, and when you look at, he's got Brady, who by the way was just killing people in that flag football stuff this weekend, and the trash talk from Brady, I love it. I think it's a good fit for you guys, and with the Max Crosby deal falling through, and now your defense now ahead of schedule. Right? Because that really, at the end of the day, the Max Crosby deal falling through just put your defense ahead of schedule.
Mhm.
Right? I think it'll be good as long as you can provide him the protection. You picked up a good wide receiver, a good two. You've got your wide receiving core is actually not bad. You got a good running back, good tight end. If they can take the remaining capital and get it, and you got a great center. So that's the other. You got a great center. So now, like, you fix the tackles, right? I think Mendoza is the right pick for you this year. And you go from a 4 to 5 win team, you know, like you could have been a 4 to 5 win team, but now I think he could be a 7 game winner as a rookie. I mean, I don't think the pressure on him being in Vegas is as high as if he was in Chicago, New York, LA either. Which, if you're going to go number one, going to the Vegas Raiders is not really a bad thing because, look, the Raiders had such shitty quarterback play since Carr left. The expectation's high, but the bar is low. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
if you just come in there and be decent, the fans are going to love you.
They're going to love him. And if he can keep them in year one, look at he's going to make stupid rookie mistakes.
Mhm.
I mean, Caleb did it. Jaden did it. They all did it. As long as he keeps you competitive and you're not losing a ton of games because of him, I think it's the right step for the Raiders because in year two, he should, as long as he, it comes at year 2, 3 progression. If he does like what say Caleb did or Drake May did or Bo Nix even have a positive progression in year two, then yeah, it's the right step for the Raiders. And the Raiders, that division is really going to be good. The division of the AFC in the next year or two. Like right now, it's more. I mean, it kind of already is, but now it's going to be top to bottom. It's like the NFC North was last year. Everyone only division with all 4 teams with a winning record. I mean, that could be the AFC West, and I think that he might be the right quarterback for you guys. Waiting another year for Manning, let's be honest, is more hype than substance right now.
Mhm.
And some of these other great quarterbacks, I think it's more hype than substance. Like this quarter, you know what I like about this draft? I'm not hearing the certain keywords that piss me off. This guy's generational. Okay, every year he's generational. But you're hearing that bullshit for next year's draft class already. Next year is going to be the best quarterback class. And blah blah. No, stop. That's what I like about this class. It's like that underrated, undersold draft class where they're just solid, good football players. And you know what? Those are the drafts where you get these guys like Mendoza will come out and just be like, wow, like we undervalued this draft. And it happens every fucking time. I agree, and then I agree with what Dorn says too, though. You need a vet quarterback for your, but here's the problem, Dorn. What vet quarterbacks are out there right now that I can get on a 1-year deal to help sink my ship to keep me low enough in the draft order for next year to get the number 1 or 2 pick to get one of these stud quarterbacks, right? There isn't one.
No, I think he's talking about if the Raiders do draft Mendoza, they need a vet. Okay. I apologize.
The first way was if you're going to say no, Mendoza's not the guy. I got to wait till next year. Yeah, you need a vet quarterback for a year. If that year say, hey, they need a vet quarterback. Kirk Cousins is going to win you too many regular season games. Right?
Yeah,
he is. Now would I draft Kirk Cousins to if I go the second route, which is hey, I need a vet quarterback to mentor Mendoza. Then yeah, but there are cheaper options. Look what the Bears did. Like the Bears have a guy on their roster at quarterback 3 right now who they actually wanted to hire as a quarterback coach. He said, no, I want to play. Right? So he doesn't have to be an expensive quarterback like Cousins. But I say Cousins because if you've watched Quarterback on Netflix, you see the meticulousness of Cousins. This dude still has notes from every play he's ever run his entire career. Like he's got a library of information. He's got a coach's mind. I think he'd be, if you could get him cheap, which is Kirk Cousins, who wins free agency all the time. I think he'd be a good mentor to go with Brady. I mean, talking about a mentor team. But you have to start Mendoza from day one, and that's the other piece with Dorn's comment. Because people take Dorn's comment here, which is a great comment, and go, yeah, they should get a veteran for him to sit behind for at least half the season. But the problem, and Dorn would agree with this, is that the fan bases demand that if you're number 1 pick overall, you start day one at any position.
Yeah, there's a small contingent of Raider fans who are like that, but actually, surprisingly, like from what I've seen, and keep in mind, I'm only seeing a small sample size, right? But I think a lot of Raider fans are okay with the idea of getting a vet in there to take the hits for the first half of the season because they realize, like, we don't want to ruin this kid. Like, there's something to be said
minority, though, Joe.
Like I said, it's a small sample size.
Super minority, right? I mean, it's a super minority because the expectation league-wise is if you're a lottery pick, a top 10 pick, dude, you're starting week 1.
Yeah. But Clint Kubiak has also said that he's not looking to rush Mendoza in there, like that he's willing to let Mendoza sit. So to me, having your head coach come out and say that is a good sign. Like,
I think if you got Kirk Cousins on a 1-year deal, right, then yeah, I could see that happening. Outside of Kirk Cousins, I don't know if there's another quarterback still out there. No, it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. Dorn, he wouldn't go to Vegas. I don't think he would. I don't think Vegas would want Aaron Rodgers.
No, actually, you know who I want is Joe Flacco, because Flacco is. I don't think so. I don't know. But Flacco, I wanted Flacco because Flacco, I think, would be a good mentor, and he has a very similar body type and game. His game is kind of similar to Mendoza's, so I think Mendoza's a little more athletic in the running department, but not a running quarterback. And
they're talked about. The Jets are looking at Flacco and Russ. Russ is still out there.
Yeah, see, I would like the Raiders to take a look at Flacco. I think he would be the perfect bridge. Let Mendoza sit for half the season, and if you're winning with Flacco, like, stay with him. But if not, then you can put Mendoza in there, depending on what your problem is, on why you're not winning. Like, if you're not winning because your offensive line is terrible, then no, I don't think you put Mendoza in there yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that. I think Flacco actually is one like a good cheaper option than Kirk Cousins, and I
Hmm.
agree. He make you competitive. Um,
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky says a lot of shit,
yeah, he does.
and that's not me
Oh, but I
dumping
was
on
a
Ty
quarterback in
Simpson.
the league, but you were so good, no one remembers you in the league.
See, and that's the thing is like I'm not shitting on Ty Simpson because I've been actually pounding the table saying that Ty Simpson is going to be a good quarterback in the league. I really believe that. Like he's he's
Yeah, but how many
he's he doesn't have very
Alabama?
many starts. Yeah, he doesn't have very many starts, but he's got the tools.
Yeah,
I do think he
but
needs to sit for at least a year though.
yeah, because how many Alabama quarterbacks have been good as a first round draft pick?
I mean Stabler. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
I mean, there
Well,
are two
no,
in the
no,
league
there's
right
more. There's
now.
more.
There
Jalen
are two.
Hurts. He was a
There
second round pick.
Yeah, but there are two first rounders from Alabama in the league right now, and well, we know Tua was actually not terrible.
Mac
And the other
Jones.
one, Mac Jones. Now he's been better on his second chapter of his NFL career than the first. So it's kind of like being an Ohio State quarterback, right? I mean, I don't know. I think the Raiders are set.
I
I
think
think
Mac Jones, or I think Ty Simpson is better than Mac Jones coming out of college, though. Like, I'm not saying he's better than Mac Jones right now, but I'm saying I think, like, as a prospect, I think he's a better prospect than Mac Jones was.
yeah, I mean, I think the Raiders are pretty much they could pull the 1-2 on us, but I think that Mendoza. I think for them it's just a
Well, yeah,
question of
I think it's
do
Mendoza,
do,
but
do
I'm
we bring what veteran presence do we bring in? And there are some decent options out there. And look at I think Flacco, like given the opportunity to go to the Jets, the Packers, or because they need a backup right now, or the Raiders. I think the Raiders are more would be better for him because the organization's just better. Where they're at right now for him, he knows he's going to come in, he's going to start, and he can keep the job all year. And if he does well, he'd be able to keep the job all year. And I think the Raiders would be just fine with letting the number one pick sit with the coach they've got. And that's where I'm getting at organizational. Like if
Mhm.
he goes to Packers, LaFleur's like your love's backup, and we need you. You're going to come in. You're going to do your thing. He's like, but I still want to play some. For the Jets, they don't have the organization. He knows he's going to sit behind whoever they draft. I think the Raiders, like you said, they got the right coach there where he knows he could start. And I think the Raiders would be comfortable starting Flacco for whole. Look at if Flacco's winning, there. I think the Kubiak would be comfortable running Flacco the whole year
Mhm.
and not even letting Mendoza see the field except for mop up duty. Like basically do to him what the Packers did to Jordan Love. Like I
Mhm.
think he'd be fine with that. I got a 5-year window on this kid. I don't need to rush him. If I can get one, or God forbid, I get 2 years out of Flacco before I have to year 2 might be a press, but I think
Yeah,
it'd be open competition at that point, which would be good for Flacco too. And then you could let Flacco kind of like go back into, okay, you're almost 40 now. Now you can be kind of that reserve role, mentor the kid, continue to mentor the kid. I think as a situation financially could work out great for Flacco. Play wise could work out great for Flacco and organizationally work out great for the Raiders.
I do too. Because one thing I like, not all vet quarterbacks are the same, right? Like you have vet quarterbacks that have gone to 20 different teams and have never won anywhere. Like
Right.
for me, I want a guy who's won before. Like, and Flacco fits that mold. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, and he's competitive everywhere he goes. That's exactly the kind of guy that I want. Somebody who's been to the mountaintop already,
And you
like,
got money. You got the money to pay him. You can overpay him if you want.
yeah, the Raiders still
You
have
could
about 25 million in cap, but
Yeah, you could say, dude, I'm gonna give you like everyone else is looking to give you 8 mil. I'm gonna give you 15 for 2 years. 2 years, 15 mil a season. You're gonna start probably be the starter this year, high probability. And if you keep winning, we'll let you keep the job. In year 2, it's gonna be open competition between you and the pick and the kid. But you're gonna get paid well, even if you're gonna be the backup that year. I mean, I think that's a good good deal for Flacco, for the Raiders, for Mendoza. Does Mendoza get kind of like, dude, you're going to be in a 5-year guaranteed contract. Take the year to learn from Flacco and not let your
And
body
Brady.
and Brady and not let your body take the beating, that rookie year beating that the brand new draft picks always take, and learn the game. Let it slow down for you for a year. Yeah, I think that'd be a smart move for the Raiders, man. I hope they would do it. I would like to see the Raiders do it because look, you're already ahead of schedule on defense. Now you got to kind of got to catch up on offense. I think that does that too. And it also buys you another year to fix the offensive line a little bit better because Flacco, if your offensive line isn't as good, Flacco can compensate better than a rookie quarterback can for that offensive line not being where it should be. Hell, he just played in Cincinnati and Cleveland and made their offensive lines look much better than they were. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think Flacco is the perfect bridge, and if I'm the Raiders, I would be making that phone call to see if there's any interest there, because like you know, Flacco said he wants to start, and for me, like I have no problem with him starting the first half of the season and see how it goes. You know, if he's 5-3, like why are we going to bench him? If he's 3-5, like why are we going to bench him? Like,
And you know what else I would do if I were the Raiders? If I were to get Flacco as my quarterback and drafting Mendoza and have Brady in the ownership room, then I'm calling Philip Rivers to come be my quarterback coach.
I
And I'm
like
going to
Philip Rivers,
overpay
but
you. I'm going to overpay you as a quarterbacks coach. I'm going to give you OC money to be my quarterbacks coach. Could you imagine that kid? I mean, think, dude, you're a rookie quarterback. You've got Flacco, Super Bowl MVP. You've got Brady, and and then your position
yeah,
coach is Philip Rivers.
yeah, it's okay. It's not that Philip Rivers wouldn't be a good quarterbacks coach. It's just
Oh, he would never do it.
his history with the Raiders. I don't know if like the Raiders are the team to
Well,
make him their quarterbacks coach.
and Sin City doesn't fit his personal
Yeah,
life.
like I don't know. Like I like the idea. I just don't know how well it would work out in real life because
It
Philip
wouldn't.
Rivers hated the Raiders and we
Yeah,
hated him.
it's a dream scenario, but
But you know what? We hated Tom Brady too, and look now he owns the team. So like,
I mean, but Rivers would. And the only reason I say Rivers because he's fresh in the mind. But there's some other quarterbacks who aren't doing anything right now who would make great. I think they could bring in, especially like even what this is to sound strange. Bring in Jamarcus Russell because he can tell the kid what not. Here's why. I think Jamarcus Russell makes a good coach because he can say, "Look, here's where I failed, and this is what you need to do to not be me."
yeah. But
Like, there's value in that.
I actually
Like,
had another thought. Like, you know, I don't even know if this guy is interested in coaching, but I think Andrew Luck would make an excellent quarterbacks coach.
yeah,
Like if somebody was to, I'm surprised. I can't. In fact, it's not that I'm surprised. I'm almost positive that somebody has made a call in the last few years since he's been retired and said, "Hey, how do you feel about coaching?" And maybe he just isn't interested. I don't know, but I think Andrew Luck would make an excellent quarterbacks coach for any team.
well, hey guys, we're about out of time. Thanks for everyone in the comments. Dorn, Rob, Michael, um, Fred, Yinzer. Thank you guys all for being in the comments today. Go to Brent Williams. Go to his they got a tribute page for him. So definitely go to Brent DeWitt's page. Drop a line for condolences. Condolences to the family. We'll miss you. We'll be back here tomorrow. At least Joe and I will be. I think Ken might still be in hiatus. I'm not sure. But we'll be back. Everyone enjoy your Monday. And I don't know, maybe we'll get a Bears stadium sometime soon, or the Raiders will do some coaching moves. I don't know. We'll see. It's that time of year. Anything could happen. It's kind of like waiting for the shiv in prison. Anything could happen at any moment. Keep your head on the swivel. Like how I did it full circle, Joe. We'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good one.